back-breaking turn of events for James Stewart. James Stewart to the checkered flag in San Francisco. James Stewart takes sole possession of the points lead as he takes to checkers here at Atlanta. After making a mad 7-race dash to the top of the points, Yamaha's James Stewart once again finds himself looking up at series leader Chad Reed. Chad Reed wins his first race of 2009. Reed, the consistent two-time champ, has not finished off the podium yet this season. The Suzuki star left round 10 in Daytona with a double-digit lead. Now comes a 7-round fight for the championship. Monster Energy Supercross returns to the Big Easy right now on Speed. Monster Energy AMA Supercross and FIM World Championship is back in the Big Easy for the first time in 7 years. Round 11 of 17 comes from the Superdome. Hi everybody, I'm Ralph Shaheen alongside Speed's only former Supercross Series champion on staff, Jeff Emick. And boy, if you were with us a week ago in Daytona, did this series points chase ever get turned around? And it really all began on the first corner, Jeff.
Yeah, going into the first turn, we just had an incredible pileup. You see James Stewart right here, tucks the front end, takes out Michael Byrne, who actually had the whole shot. Carnage everywhere. Stewart would remount. It would take him some time, though. Take another look at it here is going in. Look at the back of the pack. That's number 1. Chad Reed getting caught up in that. He rides back to a win. Stewart remounts, salvages a 7th place, which was an incredible ride for James, gets the points, but loses the points lead, is 11 behind Chad Reed.
Well, so now when you take a look at James Stewart, last 2 races at Indianapolis and Daytona, crashes, a big part of what has happened with him in the points chase.
Well, Stewart has been incredibly fast, definitely the fastest man on the planet here. Falls down here at Indy when he was chasing down Reed, falls with the lead, hands the win over. Another crash here in Daytona, as you can see. This is all in 2 weeks. So James Stewart, who was on a roll, 7 wins in a row, now has 2 weeks of crashes. So we'll see with 7 races to go if James can remount, maybe win another 7 and win this championship. But I know with 7 to go, we have a very tight points battle. It's really exciting.
A lot of pressure on James Stewart to win this championship. So he caught up with James earlier today to ask him about how he's going to approach chasing this championship all the way to Vegas.
You know, around my best, and you know, I have done that the last few weekends, and you know, unfortunately, I just went down. So I mean, I'm not changing anything. I am who I am.
All right, so while momentum has slipped away for James every time he's crashed here lately, it has gained for Chad Reed. So what does Chad Reed do now with this momentum?
Well, Chad Reed, I tell you, his confidence is high right now. He's really battled. He's not given up. I think the momentum is definitely there, and that's applied the pressure to James Stewart. So both riders, I think, are under a tremendous amount of pressure to win this championship. And, I mean, with 7 to go, it's anybody's championship. I mean, I'm telling you, I'm pumped here for New Orleans because the winner here tonight, I think, really is going to set the tone for the rest of the series.
It should. Now let's show you the point standings coming into round 11 here tonight. As we said, 11 the round number, and that's the difference in the points as well between Reed and Stewart. Short, Villapoto, and Tedesco rounding out the top 5. Well, we had the chance to catch up with Chad as well to talk to him about his approach to the last few rounds of the 2009 season.
It's the most you know, challenging part of the season. It's a run down to the wire, and pressure's on, and it's time to pull the trigger and go for it. So you know, last 2 weeks have been great, and got 2 wins and been consistent. That's key right now, and we got an 11-point lead, and I plan on keeping it. I don't plan on giving it away. So you know, just take it week by week and give it everything I got and let the best man win.
Well, the pressure is building, but it's much easier to be on top of the victor's stand when you have all that pressure to deal with, and that's right where Chad Reed has been the last 2 weeks at Indianapolis and then at the famed Daytona International Speedway. Chad Reed and his rockstar Makita Suzuki has stood on the top step of the podium, and he wants to take that #1 to the top step of the podium in Vegas in May. Can he do it tonight in New Orleans? So many great things to do in New Orleans, and one of them is to check out Supercross this weekend. Here's Aaron with a Progressive Direct pre-race report.
The number 114 of Justin Brayton celebrates his 21st birthday today, and also he's racing in the Supercross class for the second time in his career. Just a few weeks ago, he ended up having a big crash. He had to sit out for a couple of weeks, but he's returned. He's been on the bike for the last 2 weeks. He said he's extremely excited to be racing. He's got expectations of a top 10. He said 6th overall in practice today. He said it's going to be a great day regardless. He's excited to be here in New Orleans.
Well, Aaron, you're exactly right. 6th fastest qualifier here today. Brayton is on the gas. He really gets along well with that big bike.
We'll take 18 riders total out of our 2 heat races straight to the main, and we'll get our final 2 out of the last chance qualifier. Got to make 20 riders for 20 laps, and this is, of course, round 11 of 17. It'll all end in Vegas that first weekend in May, which you'll see here on Speed as well. Progressive starting grid across the top of your screen, and we get to see Chad Reed. You see him on the #1, but sporting the New Orleans Saints gear. Big fan of the team and local, if you will. This is his home race. Kevin Windham. Mike Alessi with the whole shot, but can he hold on to it through the second corner? No.
It's Brayton with the
Brayton
whole shot.
gets it. Brayton's going to take it away.
Alessi drops back to 3rd.
It looks like Reed's in about 4th.
That's Tyler Bowers that snuck up into 2nd place there. Alessi has picked him off again, and
here comes Reed. Look at him flying right through Nick Way, trying to slice his way up into that deep, deep sand. And there you see Bowers on the 911. Here comes Windham running inspired in the Saints gear. He's got season tickets here. He loves the Saints, and he was really pumped up in opening ceremonies tonight. It might be a good night for K-Dub.
Well, and then the fans here in New Orleans really, really love Kevin Windham. And they were letting him know it during opening ceremonies. Now what he has to do is return the favor, go out and blitz this heat race. That would really fire the fans up if he can walk away from this heat with a win.
Cool looking riding gear too, huh? The helmet painted up that way.
Oh, custom stuff is always the best. But
look at that. He
Windham.
tries to get inside on Reed. Can't get it done there. Reed charges back into these whoops, which tonight, Jeff, the whoops really seem to be pretty steep and deep.
There's no doubt about it. There's one short section there that's fairly easy, but it's this next section. Look at Reed and Windham both wide through the sand. Look how much sand is flying up
Reed
into the
takes the spot
inside.
from Bowers. Got it. So move him up now into 3rd. But up front, everybody's chasing Brayton. Next up, Reed's going to see his teammate. There he is, Mike Alessi. 2 Rockstar Makita Suzuki riders.
And this track here in New Orleans, this is one of those tracks that didn't start out very good. It's this hard clay underneath. Okay, and from all the bulldozers and tractors, everything they built the track with, you can see some of the marks there. It really wasn't, there wasn't a defined groove yet, but now after 4 qualifying practices, a couple of heat races, now some lines are really starting to develop. And this is over that Dragon's back into a triple. Reed's got it wired, but he did not get out of the turn to really take advantage of that Dragon's back. Now Reed.
Oh, looking through the whoops, how he goes by Alessi. Whoa, and that's that section of whoops is the more dangerous, more challenging section than the other. And that's where Reed went the fastest and takes 2nd away from Alessi. Brayton, though, still leads it here in the Superdome. New Orleans, here comes, oh, look at Chad Reed on the charge through the whoops. And he's got Brayton, and that's a change for the lead here in heat #1.
And Chad Reed set that up by going wide through the sand pit. Here's a replay of him just with all that momentum right out of the end of the whoops. And he takes a wide line through the sand. I mean, way out there. But, man, he comes through with some serious speed by the end.
And now he's developing a pretty serious lead, too. He's up to 3+ seconds over Brayton. Wyndham to third. Remember, top 9 go on.
Yeah, the Chad Reed started out today here in New Orleans extremely comfortable. I mean, right away, first qualifying practice, he absolutely attacked the track. He's just, you know, his confidence is high with Chad right now.
And Jeff, here comes Wyndham on that 14. The Geico Power Sports Honda rider. He's taking the same line through that sand that Reed did, and look at how much more speed he carries because of it as he closes right up on Brayton. This is a fight for second. Brayton loses traction through there, and Wyndham's still not able to capitalize yet.
But wow, Brayton really putting in a phenomenal ride. Wyndham took a little look to the inside, but he's all over him now. Brayton's holding his line, riding a really smart race.
Oh, that cost him. That cost Kevin big.
Wyndham, there it is.
Back to the inside, squares him up. Oh, and Brayton battles right back, takes the position away from him. This one's not going to be easy. Brayton riding inspired as well.
I'm telling you, Wyndham. Oh, yeah, to the inside.
There it is.
One more time.
That's going to do it. And now, can he seal the deal with a lap and a half to go?
Wyndham back to the inside through the sand. Let's see if he can get the drive across the whoops. Yeah, now he's in the main line. Wyndham just been on fire here tonight. No doubt this being his hometown race. Ride with a little extra enthusiasm, right? All the family and friends here.
Well, Reed's got a bunch of family and friends here, too.
Yeah, they had a much longer drive.
Yeah, all the way over from Australia.
Chad Reed celebrating a birthday tomorrow, so all the family is up, and he's certainly putting on a great show here as we take a look at Brayton, who's also putting on a really fantastic ride here, running third in this heat race.
Got to give him a lot of credit for the effort. He led quite a few laps here. Sure, he's fallen back to third now, but that's a great way to get your Supercross career underway.
Well, it's great experience. It's great exposure. The factory teams, team managers, team owners take a look at that and say, okay, when Brayton's ready to move up full time from the lights up to the big bike class, we know that he's going to be ready for Supercross.
And Michael Lessie on a factory bike sitting behind him in fourth. Final lap. Checkered flag falls as Reed takes the win. Wyndham and Brayton crossing the line in second and third. Chad Reed has another heat win, and he's getting set for the main event. Show you the results out of heat number 1. Those are the 9 guys going straight to the main. Sean Skinner is going to take the 65 to the last chance qualifier. Saturday night, catch the all-new AMA Pro Primetime on Speed, where some of the world's fast. Hey, we got a special guest coming next week when we go up to the Edward Jones Dome in St. Louis. Look who's coming back racing. Yep, old number 199. He's coming. Travis Pastrana. You don't want to miss this. This is going to be spectacular. Who knows? He might backflip, might double backflip. I'm sure it'll be spectacular one way or the other to get Travis in St. Louis. And here's our Toyota moving forward schedule of upcoming races. You'll see St. Louis right here on Speed. We got a bunch of other races coming. If you want to see them in person, go to www.supercrossonline.com, get some tickets, come check out the races. We'd love to see you there at the stadium. Well, we showed you the heat 1. Let's show you the highlights from heat number 2. And Jeff, this was really all about how is James Stewart going to rebound from the last 2 weeks. And the gate dropped and then pretty much answered itself real quick.
Well, he definitely got out of the gate good in this one. Had some flawless laps on his way to the win there, but some serious battles just behind him as Canary was running third.
And Andrew Short got by him, gets himself solidly into a transfer spot. But boy, there was no touching James Stewart. When he was all said and done, it was about 14.5 seconds a gap. Watch Heath Voss here, right into the back of Tedesco.
Yeah, that's a real slow turn.
And there goes Stewart across the line, and he leads the next 9 guys on into the main. Short, Tedesco will all take their Hondas in there. Ryan Villapoto gets the Cowie guys into the main as well. And Robert Canary just sneaks in. Ben LeMay, he'll go to the LCQ. So I'll show you the highlights of that. And this was really a good thing for Nathan Ramsey. He's getting his first taste of Joe Gibbs Racing Yamaha, and he needed some extra laps tonight, and he did them in perfect style, taking the win for the Joe Gibbs team. And the Hart and Huntington guy sporting some pink color here this weekend in honor of Kerry Hart's buddy, Brad Pitt, who has his charity work down here that he does, where he helps to rebuild houses after the terrible losses of Hurricane Katrina. So they're running the pink color scheme for that. Troy Adams is going to take the pink on into the main event. Well, let me tell you, everybody had New Orleans circled on the calendar this year. Looking forward to all the fun you can have here in the Big Easy. Some of the racing's been pretty good, too. Bourbon Street. That's where a lot of the action and a lot of the fun happens here in New Orleans. One of the most famous streets in the world. Inside here, a lot of folks having a great time. Supercross is back in the Big Easy. First time we've been here since 2002. Great to be back. Kevin Windham, very excited to be back here. You can see the tremendous career that he's had. This is start number 151. And you know, 11 years to the day he got a win here. He is really happy to be back in New Orleans.
Well, I think that, you know, all races as a professional carry the same weight, but everyone has the one that's close to home, and this is mine for sure. And the support that I get coming in this race and just being able to be close to home. You know, I think more than anything, you know, when the lights go down and the crowd gets revved up, I mean, it's huge. And to win it with everyone present, you know, it really validates what you're doing, and it's just a feeling beyond all others. I'm excited to be here racing on this stage. You know, I'm a big fan of the Saints and watching them play. And I think to race here is really special for me, and you know, being a Louisianian and knowing what's happened here. So it's great to be here, and looking forward to a good crowd and a good time. This city's certainly been through a rough spell, and it's great to see the resurgence of it. You know, it's been tough, but it's rebounded back, and it's hard to keep a good city down. And I think that every race that I have from here on out is going to be one that I need to cherish, because you never know how long this is going to last. And I just hit 150 main events, and I think that puts me somewhere up in the top 5. So, you know, can I catch the Michael Roccos and the guys that are in the 200s? I don't know, but I'll have to take it year by year and race by race. And I think when you look at it through eyes of really appreciation of each and every event, it gives you the ability to drive further on. You know, take it lap by lap, take it week by week, and I don't want to see this come to an end. So as long as I can be successful, as long as I can stay off the ground, I think we'll be good, and you know, who knows where the end will be for me.
Not only is Kevin Windham the hometown favorite, he is also working directly with the Saints as an ambassador for the team, doing things such as reaching out to the local children's hospital. He's been a lifelong Saints fan, but this year, for the first time ever, he has got himself some season tickets. You want to make sure to take notice of his gear this weekend. It resembles the jersey of the Saints, and he's also got a logo on the back of his helmet of the Saints. He said he's absolutely thrilled to be racing here tonight in front of his hometown friends and family, but he's especially thrilled to be racing of the home of the Saints.
Claire, and I see you've been getting into the spirit of things down here in New Orleans. You got the beads going on tonight.
You got to do what you got to do when you're here in New Orleans. We're having way too much fun.
All right, good. Glad to see you're having fun here tonight at the races. Only on speed. Well, the folks are having a great time in here inside the Superdome. And the reason being because of the great Supercross action here tonight on Speed. Stay with us, plenty more coming your way. Well, the freestyle show, entertaining the fans during intermission. You'll see that every week at one of these Monster Energy AMA Supercross FIM World Championship events. All part of the thrilling show that makes up Supercross. Got to see it in person. It is spectacular. Fans here in the Big Easy getting a big night of racing. Ralph Shaheen, Jeff Emmick, and Aaron Bates with you as we get ready for the main event. 20 riders in the gate. Chad Reed and James Stewart, heat race winners. Of course they are. Nathan Ramsey, he grabbed the LCQ, and it all sets up, Aaron, another great main event battle between these two titans battling for the championship.
That's for sure. Well, Chad Reed had the ultimate surprise when he landed here at the New Orleans airport. His wife Ellie had flown in, his entire family, including his in-laws, all the way from Australia to celebrate his 27th birthday, which is tomorrow. He said he was so excited. His dad had tapped him on the shoulder. It was a complete surprise, and it's the first time in 9 years that he's been able to celebrate a birthday with any of his family other than his wife. He says he's extremely excited to go out and celebrate tomorrow, not only for his birthday, but in high hopes that he's going to be taking home another victory here this evening.
Well, there's no doubt about that. Having that family support would be great. Now let's take a look at the track map here. It's been a difficult track tonight. One thing to remember is that a lot of those inside lines are left open. The racing line's a little bit wide. Nice long start that if the inside guy comes in too deep, you know, but talking about deep, this sand pit has played havoc all night. Throughout qualifying practice, it was really difficult as everyone was really trying to find the groove here. See James Stewart coming in, just plowing through, and then into the whoops. Chad Reed and James Stewart were able to master the whoop section, which was so difficult to get through. Here's this Dragon's back. Stewart actually jumped from here way over to here in his heat race. Other riders were coming over there. I'm telling you, there's some fast lines yet to be had, and this championship battle is going to be an all-out brawl. Tonight is going to be a pivotal night in the points race.
It really could be, and it could come down to two spots: the first corner and the sand section.
Definitely, but you know, there's some great starters in the field. You know, Michael Lessie's in there, Justin Brayton on that KTM, phenomenal starts. So, you know, you've got all these other riders mixed in there as our two top championship contenders are trying to do their job, you know. And I'm telling you, Chad Reed trying to become the first or the second Suzuki to ever win here.
Here comes the main event from the Superdome. And Alessi just beat Stewart to the corner. But James is going to take the early lead, and here comes Reed in second place. He wanted to go head-to-head with him, then bar-to-bar. Chad Reed to the outside. Stewart holds him up, and look at how quick James gets through the whoops.
Brock Kepler back in third, mixing it up, but it's all about our title contenders here. We have not seen this in a few weeks. Both riders together, all-out speed, 20 laps of endurance, all-out strength, and I'm telling you, both riders have something to prove.
Reed trying to set him up. Jeff, he's got to be a little bit patient now, doesn't he? The two of them know they're quicker than everybody else. They should be able to gap the field, and now they can just set their sights on each other at this point.
Well, I'm telling you, both riders have the ability to ride under pressure, and after Daytona last week, the pressure is on both riders as we are in the final 7 races for the AMA Supercross Championship, and this is how we wanted to start it off here in the Big Easy.
As we watched the lap times from the heat races earlier tonight, James was only a couple of tenths quicker than Chad Reed. Now, he won his heat race by a much bigger margin, but Reed just made a mistake there, and that cost him terribly.
Well, that's that section over the Dragon's back where James Stewart makes a mistake.
But he's able to rebound, and that's the thing about Stewart, Jeff. When you talk to a lot of the other riders, you know, and speaking with Andrew Short about James, he says, you know, James makes mistakes all the time, like we all do. He said the difference is he's able to save it and keep going forward.
Well, no doubt about that. Stewart rides on that fine line, right on the edge. Chad Reed has the opportunity to watch him. Now, watch as we get through the first set of whoops, that right-hander over that Dragon's back. Stewart is actually jumping from the first whoop all the way over and doing a triple-triple. Incredible. Reed's going to have an opportunity to see that right out of this turn. Let's see if Reed can pick up on it also. There he goes. Yes, Chad Reed nails it. The race is on. He's got Stewart, his one trick that he had in the bag. Chad Reed just mastered it.
That's a 2-time champion. He's paying attention to the man in front, knows his lines, and now he can see what he can do with it. But you gotta wonder if James Stewart has anything left in his bag of tricks. Look, he's already pulled out, Jeff. I mean, we saw Reed do that move, and that was supposed to be such a big time move. But look at the gap.
Lost it in the sand as they come across. It's 1.8 seconds. Stewart's last lap at 51.5. Reed was a 52.6, so a lot of time there. Reed had a bad lap, but Chad Reed has that ability to keep going. He never gives up, but look at that distance that Stewart put on that lap. That was a great lap.
Huge. But the one thing Chad has going for him tonight is he has felt like he's riding better in the last couple of weeks. So if he's on his game, there's no reason to panic. Yeah, plenty of laps yet to go. Lots of things can happen. Get back in your rhythm, close that gap back down. Meanwhile, back behind these two. Look at the pack back here, and in that fight is Ryan Villopoto on the Monster Energy Kawasaki number 2. Villopoto deep in the field, trying to fight his way through.
Villopoto currently running in 14th. I'm sorry, 13th. Right on Bowers now. Tyler Bowers setting in 12th. And look at the lineup behind him. I mean, we're talking about 12th back to 20th right there together.
Villopoto setting up for the move to the inside. Makes it work.
Bowers has the line
John
here.
Bowers will have the advantage in the next corner. But Villopoto beats him to the next one, and that'll lock up the position.
That actually gives Villopoto 11th. As they made their way past some more riders here just before we went on screen. I'm telling you, Villopoto trying to salvage what has been a tough day for him. Qualifying practice was tough. Actual qualifying heat race was, but now knocking on the door for the top 10. Look how deep that sand rut. There's an inside line starting to form as the main line pushed out. The inside, somebody drew a new line through there. That's what's so difficult about the sand.
Let's go back and take a look at the whole shot replay, Jeff. As both Reed and Stewart got great starts. Alessi actually had the best one.
Yeah, well, this is what, you look at the blue number 7 of Stewart. This is what James Stewart had the ability to do after Anaheim won, is he mastered his starts. He took control of the main event by getting out to the lead. This is what, so far, he's done here tonight.
This is Mike Alessi now trying to catch Brock Hepler. Hepler holds down 3rd. Alessi has drifted back to 4th. Hepler has just gotten better and better each week, Jeff, after coming back to the series, recovering from an injury, racing himself back into shape, getting ready to go, and well, he's really showing some strength for the Yamaha factory team.
Well, both these riders on our screen had some pretty bad injuries last year, and Mike Alessi is one of the most horrendous that we've ever seen before. But I mean, right now, both riders putting in solid rides. We'll see how, when we get up to lap 17, 18, 19, how they're going to be feeling. But Mike Alessi, I've been really impressed with his Supercross riding this year. He's getting better each and every week.
Here's Josh Hill, the number 75.
So it's with our leader, Yamaha, Suzuki, and then another Yamaha.
Setting a trend here. Hill running in 5th. And behind him comes Andrew Short. There you see Andrew on the Red Bull Honda. Back behind Andrew is Justin Brayton, having a great run in the main event. And Kevin Windham, sporting the New Orleans Saints gear, taking the spot away from Brayton. And the crowd cheering for him in the background.
Wow.
That'll move Kevin up to 7th.
Pass for 7th, but all eyes are on Kevin Windham. That Saints gear, that black and gold. Bronze, would that be?
Black and gold.
Yeah.
Black and gold.
Take a look at the sand pit here. Look at 52. This is Canary.
Man, he gets plowed by Tedesco.
And Boss on the right side of your screen, he goes down.
Was right in the back. Oh. Man. That's gotta hurt.
So here's Josh Grant, 33 on the Toyota Yamaha.
In 9th, they show right now as everybody's making their way back to the finish line. What time the scoring catches up with everybody. Here we go. Grant still showed in 9th behind Brayton.
Not for long. He's making the move on Brayton, but Brayton tries to hold the outside. Grant, one last little throttle there. See if he can get out of that second turn. Yeah, he keeps it. I'm telling you, after that crash that Grant had last week in Daytona, it was doubtful if he would be riding. I'm telling you, Supercross riders are tough, and it's incredibly physical. And you get to this point of the season, you're going to have to ride through some pain. And watch James Stewart here on this replay as he comes over the Dragon's back. This is that hot line we've been talking about. He jumps from this first whoop, comes up short, not once, but then he tries to triple out short again, and then still nails the main triple. He's got a commanding lead right now, 3.8 seconds.
There are not many riders in the world that can do that maneuver and do it right. But to do it and have problems not once but twice and still ride through it,
he never misses a beat.
That's just incredible. The God-given skills that this man has are just amazing. James Stewart, one of the most incredible riders ever in the history of Supercross, leading here in the Superdome. To the Superdome, needing to get his season back on track. He lost a championship points lead, fell 11 markers back to Chad Reed, crashed the last 2 races, but that's enough. Time for the number 7 to be number 1 once again. And he's come out swinging and swinging hard here tonight in the Big Easy. Took the win in his heat race in dominating fashion and is putting on a clinic here in the main event. Halfway through.
It has that feeling, that same resemblance of when Stewart went on that 7-race win streak, about how he just took control by taking the whole shot. Stewart here trying to work past some flat riders.
Battle for 5th is pretty good too. Hill and Short. Hill has the position on the blue Yamaha and the blue and white riding gear. Short's trying to catch him on that red Honda. They're working through some traffic too. And that's something that could certainly come into play tonight, Jeff. It might not be Chad Reed or James Stewart that struggle with the section, but a rider in front of them, just like we saw with Canary and Tedesco.
Yeah, there's no doubt about it. It gets tricky in Supercross main events to work your way past some of the lapped riders. I mean, let's face it, the reason that they're getting lapped is they're having a bad night. And so, you know, mentally they're off. They can make more mistakes and get into you. So you have to be really smart about this. Here comes Short up the inside.
Boy, he really closed in on Hill through that whoop section. And Andrew Short now tries to see if he can catch that factory Yamaha and take the position away, which would be a top 5 finish.
Well, and Hill, he's had some good rides here in the last couple of weeks. There's no doubt about it. Starting to get his season back on track after some injuries.
Yeah, he had team manager Jim Perry smiling in Daytona. Things started to look pretty good a week ago.
I mean, I'm telling you, at this point of the Supercross Championship, it's tough. I mean, we lost Michael Byrne and Tim Perry last week in Daytona to injury, and the riders that are here tonight, there's some of these guys, I'm telling you, they're not 100%, but they're out there giving it 100% effort all the way through the end of the championship because they realize, hey, when it comes to Supercross racing, it doesn't get any bigger than this. This is the grand stage.
Well, there's a lot of nicks and bruises all the way up and down the starting gate. And, you know, with these guys, nicks and bruises are things that would have most of us laying on the couch for a couple of months.
Well, I lived that, Ralph, so yes. Yeah.
Oh, here we go! Alessi and Hill get together, and they're both down, and Short goes by. Hill was trying to get around Alessi. They get together in the rhythm whoop section here, and they're both down hard. And Short just walks right through the door, and so does Brayton, and so does Canary, and Filippoto, and Adams on the Hart-Huntington machine.
How quick it can happen, Ralph. Alessi bottled up there. Let's take a look at the replay here. Alessi goes wide, Hill goes to the inside, get together, and then Hill looked like he kind of bumped Alessi out of the way and had the line, but then when Alessi fell, it clipped it. Watch when Alessi clips the back of Hill's bike. Handlebar goes in the rear tire, takes Hill with him. You see Hill shaking his head. He had such a great night going. Yep. He was looking at a possible podium finish. Now he's way out of the top 10.
Now look at Wyndham battling with his Honda teammate Andrew Short. This is for 4th. And we told you Kevin Wyndham riding inspired here tonight. It will be a home race for him. At the home field of his favorite football team, the New Orleans Saints, and he's going to take the spot. The crowd cheers him on. Short battles back.
Short's off to the left. Whoa, that was close. Short almost went outside of the top blocks.
Oh, Kevin just can't get around. They keep swapping the position back. Now, Wyndham back inside. Once again, the number 14 goes in front for the position, and now it looks like he's got the spot.
Kevin Wyndham really riding just with so much aggression tonight and a confidence, like knew exactly where he wanted to get past Short. Tried to go through one door, Short slammed it. Tried to go through another door, he slams that. And he just kept peppering him with pressure. And eventually found a line there in turn 2. Just snuck right, got the front wheel in, and bumped Short out of that fast line.
And when Kevin is really on his game, boy, he can be so impressive. You know, when he really puts a night together, when he's got the focus ready to go, and he rides aggressive like that, boy, he can really charge hard.
Well, I mean, 150 main event starts to gain some experience, you know.
Granted. And Brock Kepler.
He's on the other side of the scale. He's ridden very few main events.
Yep.
His rookie season here.
And he's going to be on the podium if he can hang on for another 5 laps.
And you see the yellow flag, that's a caution flag. The blue flag, that means that someone's getting lapped. Kepler, actually, see, that's Canary down once again at the top of your screen there.
Let's see what happened to Canary. He got stuck in that sand pit again.
Canary highlight reel number 2. As your leader goes by, Canary this time buries it on the outside line.
And how about the fact that James Stewart was in front of Canary when that happened? What if it's reversed?
It changes the whole deal, yeah.
That's the thing. When it's your year, your night, you get those breaks, if you will. You know, luck goes your way as well as the skill and the speed.
Well, and take a look at James Stewart here on lap 13. He was 5 seconds ahead. Now he's 7.1. So whether he's just gone out there and smoked Chad Reed, or Reed's going, okay, look, for the championship, when we're talking about points here, I can give up 3 tonight. It's important for me not to ride over my head. We don't know. Only the riders know. Okay, and the bottom line is right now, Stewart has taken command once again. He's on his way to 25 points. Reed is looking like he's going to come home with 22. That's 3. That brings the points down to 8.
Jeff, points are one thing now. You know, as you said, it's 8. Okay. The mental game in this sport is such a huge deal. Big momentum shift here because they were heads up.
All about momentum. And I mean, the Stewart's had some unfortunate accidents here in the last couple weeks. You know, once again, it's looking like if he keeps this thing on 2 wheels, that 100% ratio of winning, if he doesn't fall, you know, is still intact. And I'm really impressed with James because I can't explain to you guys, you know, at least from the outside looking in, from my perspective, how much pressure would be on James's shoulders after a disastrous Daytona Supercross, and what it takes for a rider mentally to put that behind him and work forward and come out and perform. You know, just incredible tonight. That's something that very few men can do, and that's why James Stewart is the legendary rider that, you know, midway through his career here that he is because he can deal with that.
Yep, he sure can. And we also know that Chad Reed never gives up. And that's what's going to make this championship so interesting as we go all the way to Vegas.
Yeah, and it really has been, you know, the tortoise and the hare type of thing where Chad's Mr. Consistent, James is all out speed but makes some mistakes, you know, has some falls and some crashes along the way. So, I mean, we're going to have to go all the way down to Vegas to find out which one of those, you know.
Good.
Which one? Yeah,
I'm glad we are. And it's going to be fun as you're going to see the points as of now. As Jeff said, the swing is 3. So 8 will be the difference. And guess what? Once again, 100% of the time, when James Stewart does not crash, he's going to win.
Yeah, and you looked at those points there, you know that.
Oh, trouble for Millsaps there. And what happened there?
Well, guys, Davey Millsaps has had one heck of a day. He even crashed earlier during practice, and he tweaked his right knee, but also he damaged the nerve in that leg and caused a condition, a symptom called drop foot, basically immobilizing his right leg. So he's really out there trying to ride through everything he can with adrenaline.
Well, James Stewart has done it. He needed to light the candles once again, and he does. The checkered flag flies, and so does the big pyro show as James Stewart wins here in the Superdome. Chad Reed comes home in second.
We're looking
Brock Kepler's going to take the checkers in third.
I'm telling you, Chad Reed did not look happy about that second when he pulled some tear-offs.
No, he did not. There's Hepler happy to be going to the podium, and Kevin Windham, in front of the hometown crowd with a nice inspired ride, comes home in fourth. These two championship titans are going to take this battle on again next week in St. Louis. The goggles going to the grandstands, and they're both going to the podium.
Well, James Stewart definitely proved to us that he was the fastest rider. Whew.
Well, we'll hear what they both have to say when Speed comes back to the Superdome. Let's show you the results from the main. Hey, good to hear we're seeing down there in Honduras. A lot of Supercross fans currently down there.
They love Stewart.
Yeah, why not? Boy, after a performance like that tonight, James Stewart shows why he has such a huge fan base as he comes out and just really unleashes a James Stewart-esque performance here tonight, all the way around. Let's check in with Aaron.
James Stewart was back on track tonight, and there's definitely no room for error. James, talk about how much pressure was on your shoulders coming into tonight's race after the weekend from last weekend.
Well, you know, it's always pressure, you know, and I held it pretty good. You know, Chad was running awesome all day, and I knew it's kind of like Phoenix. You know, you gotta win when it counts, and I was able to do that tonight. So just want to thank Samuel, Yamaha, and Segura, you know, Red Bull, Oakley, Alpine Star, Bell Helmets, everybody, Nike, and it was a good night. You know, no excuses tonight.
Hey, you'd never raced here ever before in New Orleans. Congratulations on adding this one to the record book.
Good to see that $1 million smile back, and he might be smiling real big when we get to Las Vegas, Sam Boyd Stadium. That's where Chad and James will finally decide who's going to be the champ here this year. We'll be there. Speed will be there that first weekend in May. We sure hope you can join us there in Las Vegas. It's going to be a wild night in Sam Boyd Stadium. Here's the points. 8, the difference between Chad Reed and James Stewart. But Brock Kepler, who has not run the whole season, put on another great performance tonight, Aaron.
Most definitely did. His best Supercross career finish thus far was a 5th place, and he excelled that tonight with a 3rd. Brock, at the beginning of the season when you came back from injury, you said you were going to have to race your way back into shape. Would you say you're at your optimal fitness now?
Yeah, I think everything's improving as we go along, but without the help of Yamaha, Factory Effects, Tag, Bridgestone, Shift, yeah, everyone's doing a great job. We're improving every week, so I look forward to trying to get back on the box again.
Congratulations on your first podium.
SpeedTV.com has the most comprehensive.
Well, Chad Reed had mentioned earlier this afternoon that he wanted the chance to race bar to bar with James Stewart. And Chad, you got that opportunity tonight. Where was he gaining a little bit more ground on you?
It was difficult to pass tonight, follow, should I say. And he just ate me alive, you know, in the sand. And he was doing that jump over there, and I saw him do it the last lap of the heat race. And we had press day this week, and I was looking at it, and I was actually going to go for it in the main event, and he pulled the trigger before me, so that was cool, you know. I think I was happy that I did that. It was a lot faster, and I don't know, I'm kind of frustrated. What can you say? I have my whole family over here, and I don't feel like I rode that great, but he rode a great race. Hats off to him.
New Orleans is in the history books. Now it's on to St. Louis. That's next week. You'll see it here on Speed, March 22nd, 6 p.m. Eastern Time. For Aaron Bates and Jeff Emig, I'm Ralph Shaheen. So long for the Big Easy. Congratulations to James Stewart on another big win.